Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release, where you can find all the video games from the entire video game compendium because we're playing them all. We are blazing through 1981 and we last left off with Fitter in the arcade. This was released in Japan by Taito and kind of misses the mark of everything we've seen, especially when you consider Pac-Man and Lock and Chase. So after Fitter, let's see what our next release is. Our next game is Frisky Tom in the arcade. Let's take a look at Frisky Tom. Is he really frisky? Here's the artwork for Frisky Tom, starting with the advertisement flyer. Tom the plumber and 5 mischief-filled mice have tankfuls of good clean fun with a lovely blonde. That doesn't sound quite right, but it's interesting that Nichibutsu also did another game we played called Cheeky Mouse, which also involved mice or rats. So maybe they got something of an infestation over there at Nichibutsu. And for the arcade cabinet, we have a really bad picture of Frisky Tom, but the PCB is there, and for controls, looks like we just move up, down, left, and right. No other controls for that. We have the arcade marquee for Frisky Tom right here. I guess for 1981 standards, possibly. It's interesting to me because I've played this in the arcades, but I was very, very young. I didn't understand what was happening, and I was confused of what I was supposed to do. So this would be after probably 25, 30 years since I played the game. We'll see how it holds up and what I can actually do with it now. All right, let's take a look at the manual for Frisky Tom. We have service instruction, Nichibutsu, and we have the different specifications. It says, Frisky Tom is a TV monitor that could be overpowered and can shock you. And yes, most CRTs have that danger. But here we go. How to play. The game is played on the basis of filling the bottom right tank with the water from the top left tank. Depending on how much water is flowing into the bottom tank, the possibility of seeing the charming lady increases. What are they talking about? What do you mean the charming lady? So we got Frisky Tom, the Pyro Mouse, Bomb, Molar Mouse, Mean Mouse, Megaton Mouse, Klepto Mouse. And so we're trying to get water from one side of a tank to another side of a tank. I don't remember if that was actually the goal of the game or not, because there is nothing really risque. Maybe they're trying to sell on the Frisky Tom part, but there's nothing in the game that would be considered promiscuous. Even if you fill it up, when you see a lady showering, it's not a lady showering. It's bubbles around someone. So there is nothing that is particularly risque. They're maybe doing it more for marketing purposes. Let's take a look at additional versions. Nope, just 2 different sets. All right, we're in the arcade playing the release of Frisky Tom. It's October 1981, and this is by Nichibutsu. Here we go with all the artwork around the outside. So you can see we are playing as a plumber, and there are several different mice that are going to harm us, and then really tiny there in the bottom is the instructions, which you can barely see, but it shows you how to score, how to get a high score, and extinguish the bonus. And it also shows you like skillful techniques. You're supposed to repair the joints by moving around with a joystick. So there's no buttons to control, it's just literally moving around. But as far as presentation of the attract mode, it's pretty cute. The character is like... is messing with the mice in the front of it. Excellent. And then we do a play mode. So you can see how it works. We have one tank at the top, one tank at the bottom, and you're trying to connect the pipes to get them to go around. Almost like a precursor to Pipe Dream or Pipe Mania if you're in the UK. So it's different that you're not controlling a cursor. You actually have a character that you're moving around instead of those games. But it's the same idea. You move the pipes around, and you're trying to get the water from one side to another. All right, so let's put a coin in and see what it's like. First time playing Frisky Tom. All right, so I'm just doing my job here. Just trying to get water from one side. Oh, and we already fell down from a rat hitting us. So they're coming down from the top of the screen, and it looks like I only have movement on the pipes themselves. So as I move around, I can't go any in the dark areas, just the pipes. But I'm trying to get to the top. Oh, I'm already going the wrong direction. So it's almost like we're playing a maze game where I have to follow the maze the correct location to where the pipe is busted. So I got pieces of the pipe, but how do I avoid these rats? Oh, okay. Looks like they'll... Yeah, while I have pieces of the pipes, they don't do anything to me. and you just crawl yourself around all the way to the other side, trying to get the pipe repaired. Oh, okay, but the pink mouse knocked me out. I'm still getting the vibes I did when I first played this a very long time ago. That as you move around, it's very difficult to avoid the enemies. You have to know which path to make to get to the pipe that's broken, and also avoid the mice at the same time. And we're already at a game over, because I got smacked in the face by a mouse. Alright, so we're putting another coin in and pushing start. Here we go, another try at Frisky Tom. I know this game was ported to several home computers and several systems. Again, right off the bat, mouse flies down and I'm knocked out. It's that pink one, the one that's falling down. he knocked that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how quickly it knocked me out. I haven't even had a chance to go up to repair the pipe. So trying again. Alright, so we're going around again. It looks like the same pattern it gave me last time. Gotta get to the other side. Oh, I can cross there, okay. Can I cross on each side? Let's see if I can cross here. Nope, just on the sides, okay. So coming up to the top again, seeing if I can repair this one. Oh, you need 2 pieces. Okay, so I got one pipe fixed, and now I gotta go get the other one. Coming down here, looks like I can cross some gaps, but not all gaps. And as long as I don't run into that crazy pink mouse, then we should be okay. Can I cross? There we go. Okay, there's the pink mouse. Oh gosh, it still came down so fast. But I was out of the way that time. So you can see the mice are breaking more, and I have to go back on losing points now. Oh no. And I'm back at 0 because all the water drained out. I didn't even think. I have to think ahead that they're going to break more parts of the pipe before I... Oh gosh. It's kind of like a maze game, but not really. It's a different style formula. All right, let's change the view for us. We got this one here is more of a full screen view for it. All right, let's put another quarter in and another shot at Frisky Tom. Here we go. Let me switch it to this one. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's get... I need 2 pieces and avoid the pink rat. Yes, get out of the way. All right, so I know I can cross different paths, because before I thought I could only follow where the pipe was. But now I realize I can go there and there, and these mice don't bother me. Yes, so look at that connection. Oh, all the way, and now we're good. Now I'm watching the pink mouse is coming again. I don't know how I can avoid him. He's crazy. Yeah, I can't really say this is based on a maze game like we saw with Lock and Chase or Pac-Man. It does have a kind of maze feel, but no, it's more original for the concept. And this is also the first time we've seen a game where you're having to connect interlocking pieces that we're going to see on plenty of puzzle games later. Okay, there we go. Got a connection, and we are doing it. We're draining. All right, so now I'm going to go down because the pink mouse is coming. Yes, good. I got him out of the way. So we're still draining water, and it looks like nothing's broken. There's also a bomb on the left side. I'm guessing that's my timer. But water's flowing through, and... Okay, we got one that's broken, and I gotta go get the piece of the pipe at the bottom, so I'm going down to the bottom. Got the piece, and moving back. So you can see the time is running out because the water is draining, but I'm rushing. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, quick. Oh, yeah, timer went out, bomb blew up. Who knew plumbing was so hard when you got a time bomb? It's like Mission Impossible plumbing. Okay, so we got the 2 pieces. Every time you start the game, it's the same pattern, same design of the pipes. You just got to get yourself to this spot. There we go, got the pipes in. And there we go. We're filling up. So now I'm looking... It's that red mouse. He's bringing in a bomb, and he's the one that starts the bomb. He hasn't dropped down yet. It's very random when he comes down, but I'm watching him. There we go. Good. Get out of here. We don't want you around here. And see, time bomb's going. I don't see how I make... Oh, there we go. We got a piece that fell, but I don't see how I can keep the timer going to continue my gameplay. Yeah, the bomb's already about to go out. Done. That was so fast. All right, we're gonna do one more shot of Frisky Tom, put another quarter in, and push and start. Lots of different elements at play here. And we got a little bit of explanation from the manual, but from the... Again, I'm already prepared for it, but it's still those pink mice are insane. So we got a little bit of explanation, but they have lots of different elements at play here that are different than other games we've seen for the time. There we go, picking up the pieces. And I want to know how I can keep... So you see on the bottom right, my score is going down very slowly. And if I can get the water to keep going... There. And then go there. So now we got a flow going all the way. Can I get the bomb to stop? I can fall all the way down. Oh, I don't get hurt. That's nice. And so now we got the timer going. And I want to get the... Oh, now it's all fell apart. I got to get the last piece at the bottom here. But still, that timer is going by so fast. There's no way I'd be able to get to the top in time. Wow. And is that the end? I don't think it is yet. No, okay, I still got gameplay for the quarter. So tricky way to play, new concept, which is kind of cool. But the difficulty and learning curve is a little higher. And Nolan Bushnell once famously said, we don't want to have instructions, we want people to be able to get in the arcade, play the game, and it just works intuitively, simply. And now we're starting to see more arcade games that you have to get a strategy involved, understand what the game is going for. Okay, so it looks like our score has stuck in that one spot, and then now how do I get... I want to turn this bomb off. There we go. I did it. The bomb stopped. Oh, and there's a mouse bringing to light it again. Ah, I see. And now because... Can I get the bomb to go long? Okay, so I figured out how to make the bomb stop. It's that pink mouse again. Oh my gosh. All right, so better experience than whenever I think I was 8 or 9 when I played this in the arcades, but better experience than that when I had no idea what was going on. I'm just moving a character around on the screen, but for the time, this is very intuitive and very ingenious, very different than what we've seen from before. All right, so that was Frisky Tom. I know it's going to be ported so many times. I'm just wondering... the appeal behind it, it's difficult. It's very challenging, but it still has a lot to go for. Depending on everything else we've seen, it's still a very good game. So we're gonna go for 4 stars for Frisky Tom. And with that, let's move on to our next release. What is after Frisky Tom? We're now back at home with our Atari 2600, and this is the release of Haunted House. Very exciting for this one. It's scrolling and not moving room by room like it did with Adventure. Let's take a look at artwork for Haunted House. This one has 9 different games. Ghosts, bats, tarantulas. And this kind of makes me think of what other horror games have we seen so far on the channel that are trying to make the video game scary. And for the life of me, I can't think of anything that was purposefully trying to do something scary. This might be one of the first where the game is intent to turn all the lights off and get for the creepy or spooky vibe for it. You are stumbling around in a dark and dusty haunted mansion. To escape, find the pieces of the magic urn. You'll encounter giant hairy tarantulas, vampire bats, and a menacing ghost. Can you find the urn and escape the mansion before you get scared to death? There you go. So it is the first game we played, or one of the first we played on the channel, that's trying to intentionally scare you to get scared to death from the game. All right, so we got advertisement flyer. Here we go. If the ghosts don't get you, the tarantulas will. And this is by Atari. Oh, with the classic, have you played Atari today? Atari makes more home video games than anyone. And yes, it's 1981, and they do. Pretty cool. There's the cartridge for Haunted House. And let's see what the manual has for us. The original manual of Haunted House. Love it. And the artwork is fantastic. And it is creepy. Look at that. Bats, spiders, and some guy's creepy eyes staring at you. All right, so after table of contents, oh, it even has a tale. Of course it does. We've seen other manuals for Atari. They're now giving stories whenever you want to play the game. Many years ago in the small town of Spirit Bay, there lived a mean old man named Zachary Graves. And see, at this point, if you had your friends, you'd get a flashlight in your face and then start to play the video game. So we got a story of Zachary Graves, how he died during the earthquake at 1890. To this day, no one has had the courage to go into this mansion and search for the pieces of the urn. Graves still haunts the mansion. Some of the neighbors claim they've seen lights flickering in the windows. Some say they've heard eerie sounds, doors slamming, heavy footsteps. Some even claim to have seen shadows running through the mansion. Yes, this is one of the first games where they're trying to do a scary video game. The mysterious mansion has 24 rooms connected by long corridors and staircases. Some of the rooms have been locked up for over 50 years. There is supposed to be a master key hidden somewhere in the mansion. Without the key, it might be possible to travel from room to room. There was also an ancient scepter hidden in the mansion. Old Man Graves always carried this scepter. He believed it scared off evil spirits. Now that you know the story, Atari is unlocking the entrance to the haunted house and letting you test your bravery. Do you dare enter the frightening old mansion? If you do, remember to carry matches. The haunted house is very dark. When you're ready to challenge your courage, insert this game program into your... Yes, they're really playing off it's the scariest game. You're going to get scared playing this. The object of the game is to find 3 pieces of the magic urn and carry them back to the mansion entrance of the mansion, the main entrance of the mansion, before losing all 9 of your lives. Your score is based on the number of matches you use during your search and the number of lives you use. The pieces of the urn are randomly scattered throughout the 24 rooms of the mansion. Nice, random is great for replayability. There's 4 rooms. Each floor has 6 rooms. The floors are connected by staircases. The rooms are connected by corridors and doorways. Some of the doors are locked, so find the master key, which is hidden in the mansion. Very cool premise. And we've seen maze games or exploratory games, but nothing with a frightening or scary theme. And love to hear in the chat or comments, has anyone played this when it first came out and was legitimately like, oh man, this is a scary game. Let's turn the lights out. And you get legitimately freaked out from this, because we played other video games that had scary elements or scary parts that came up. Like, for example, I remember playing Adventure on the Atari 2600, and anytime that those dragons were chasing, I remember getting scared from that. But not a game that was intentionally telling you you're going to get scared. All right, so finding the urn wouldn't be so difficult, except the mansion is dark. That's true. It's very hard to get scared with low-res graphics, but I remember the dragons in Adventure or elements from other video games. Everyone always has something they play, and it's not intended to be scary, but you get scared anyway. Maybe you get scared from the roar in Dino Wars on the TRS-80 Coco. Every time one of these creatures touches, you'll be scared to death and lose a life. So far, we've told you about the things to expect in the Haunted Mansion. Here's some information to help you understand the objects and characters. So Game 1 is a training mission to teach you how to move around the mansion. In this game, the walls around the room are lighted. You still have to use matches to look inside each room. All other game variations are completely dark. That's cool. So the urn is what you're looking for, and the urn's broken into 3 pieces, and there it is. The urn with the 3 pieces. To pick up a piece of the urn, you just touch it. When you touch it, the piece appears at the bottom right side of the screen, as shown in Figure 2. The urn pieces automatically attach as they find each piece. They bond together to form the whole urn. You quickly learn that only one object at a time. You can hold, one object at a time. Kind of like Adventure, I bet. When you've successfully put the 3 pieces of the urn together, you find a way back to the main entrance. So it's just find the pieces and then get back to the main entrance. There's also a scepter here, a magic stick used to make you invisible to all creatures in the mansion. To use it, you drop any other object and pick up the scepter. As long as you hold the scepter, you cannot be scared to death. So your character, which I'm guessing was the eyeballs that we saw in the game snap, your character can be scared to death. Like other objects, while you're holding the scepter, it appears at the bottom right of the screen, and there it is. Of course that's a scepter. Several pixels. Yes, we're in Atari 2600, so it's time to turn on your imagination. We also have the master key, and there's the image of the master key. And as we travel, we're going to have different doorways we go through, and it shows you an example of doorways over there in the top left. Oh, this is a great manual showing you the different creatures because if you're familiar with the RPGs we played on the channel, a lot of the video games you played in 81, you had to look at the manual and read about what their creatures were, especially in role-playing games. And so this is great to see how there's a vampire bat, which is, the green, looks like a green U. But in the game, if you have the manual to back up what the vampire bat's supposed to be, it kind of helps you get into the spook vibe of Haunted House. So there we go. We got the tarantulas, we got the vampire bats, we got the ghost. Love it. And then we have sounds. The game sounds in Haunted House provide clues to the gameplay. You'll hear yourself slamming into walls or locked doors. You'll hear and see flashes of lightning. When you hear the wind blow, don't be surprised if it blows out your match. As you pass through doorways, you'll hear doors open and shut. Wait a second, this is on the Atari 2600 sound. How are they going to have wind? It's probably going to sound like... Well, we'll see. The mansion is so creaky you can hear your own footsteps as you race about the rooms, so that means every step is probably a pat, 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 pat. When you climb up and down stairways, you'll hear a spooky tune. As you go upstairs, the tune plays low musical notes to high notes. As you go upstairs, it plays high to low notes. So this is fantastic. A game in 1981 that's meant to give you like scary or spooky vibes. And I know the presentation is going to be way rudimentary compared to what we've seen or compared to nowadays, but back then this would have been so fascinating to pick this up. Okay, so it shows you how to use the controller. Picking up objects, you just walk over it. And then you can see they give us examples of floors. So this manual is so helpful. Love the manuals. And you can see they give us examples of what stairs are, what the locked doors mean. And if it's like adventure, it told us the urn's going to be placed in random places. So that's giving us every time we go in the house, it's a different experience. All right, so we have the game select switch. We have 6 different game variations. Resets how you start the game. And then for difficulty switches, we have, if you're in position B, you have periodic flashes of lightning to help you see your way. And then A is you just have to listen. And then we also have nothing with the TV switch. There's even scores for this. A score for the Haunted House game. We have 9 lives until we're scared to death. So for game variations, game 1 is the beginning level. Game 2, mansion's all dark and there are unlocked doors. And game 3 is like game 2. Game 4 is the master keys in a different location each time. Nice. More game variations than adventure, but adventure was, I would say, more sprawling, because by the time you get to game 3, then it changed up every time. But game 9 is the ultimate Haunted House challenge. It has the same gameplay as 8, but this time the floor plan's different, and you find yourself in a completely different maze of rooms. That's fantastic. Okay, so that was the manual. We may refer back to it, or we may get scared to death. We'll see. So for different versions, we have the European version, the Haunted House hack, Cute Dead Things hack, Evil Dead. Someone did an Evil Dead hack for Haunted House. That's pretty cool. All right, let's pop in the first one. This is October 1981, and we're playing Haunted House for the Atari 2600. And there it is, right off the bat. We even got the right off the bat. We even got the artwork on the outside, which is awesome. All right, so we're going to do game 1 for training. I'm going to push start, and there you go. Oh, love it. We got eyeballs. That's us. Flashes of lightning going. And there is, there's our match. So I only have one button to use the match to light things up. And you can see I have stairs. Oh, I see. As you go up, I'm now with the color change on the next floor. Oh, and I just got the magic scepter. Nice. So I can't see anything unless I light it up. Yeah, you can see it's revealing the stairs on the left side here. And so now I'm on the next floor. As I go up, we have a ghost, but the ghost is going to avoid me because I have the scepter. And I make my way down. Yeah, so you're making your way from room to room, but I can't see unless I turn on that light. Now we're at room 4. And the bottom left corner is showing me how many matches I have left. I'm just looking for the pieces. So this is where the gameplay comes in, where you're lighting a match and you're looking for a piece or pieces of the urn in the darkness. I guess I can't go there. But looking good because I have the scepter, none of the enemies are bothering me, which is great. I think that was the wind sound effect, yes. That blew out my match. We have windows on the side, so it looks like nothing on this level. Let's head down 1 level. Where's the stairs? There we go. So now we're on the 3rd level. And match ran out. Got 7 matches left, it looks like. And there's the sound effects of my footsteps. Just looking around, finding the piece of the urn, which I haven't seen anything yet. There's another spider. And the wind, that is the wind. I tried to light a match and it blew it out. That's the wind sound effect. No, I don't want to go, I want to go down. Is this both lead? There we go. Now I'm down on the 2nd floor. Yeah, we have the lightning that flashes on the outside. That's pretty cool. I like the lightning effect. Alright, so making my way around, looking for the urn piece. Haven't found any yet. We got really lucky with the scepter because now nothing's bothering us. There it is. The other wind effect. This, I don't think this scared anybody. Even though at the time, there's no way that this still would be, people would be like, oh no, I got scared by something. So I really want to know if legitimately someone bought this game when it came out and was scared by it. Alright, so here we go. We got a piece of the urn, and does it put it together for us? No. I gotta take the urn back to the entrance, I guess, right? Is this the entrance? There we go. So now it shows up at the bottom. Oh! But I didn't have my scepter, so the spider got me. I got scared to death, but I still have 8 lives now. So the scepter should be... There it is. So I got the scepter back, and now I'm looking for the other piece of the urn. So this was the entrance to the haunted house. As soon as I bring a piece to the entrance, then it saves it, and you can see it down in my inventory. So there's another piece. Let's go back. I don't have the scepter, so the enemies are not coming at me. Oh, did I miss the entrance? No, that's the 2nd floor. I want to get the piece back to the entrance of the haunted house. There we go. So you can see at the bottom, it put together the piece of the urn, and then eventually what you do is you find all 3 pieces and you make it to the entrance. This is just game 1, and there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different games you can play. So 9 different ways to play Haunted House with all the variations. Just wanted to check again from the manual because they told us, there we go. It's changing, the game variations are going to change what happens with the enemies in the game and then how the mansion is, because game 1, the level we just played is the same every single time, but you can change the game to be a different house whenever you play. But it's essentially the same idea whenever you're playing. Let's say we do game 4, and then now you can see it's completely dark. So whenever I light the match, we have to make our way around the same house. Oh, I heard, it sounded like a door slammed. Oh, it was the door. Yeah, because we made it through the door. Now, this mode's pretty cool because you can't see anything. We're kind of familiar how it works from the training mode, but I can't see even the enemies. So we have a locked door that's there. And I made my way through here, so you can see I'm only lit up, and I'm slowly making my way through the house. Opening and closing some doors. Yeah, the door sound effect's pretty good. Looking for stairs. I don't see any right now. Oh, nope, and we got a ghost. And the lightning that flashes is a cool effect, too. Alright, so I'll give it props. Once you get to this game mode, it's very different. Because it feels like you're playing in a scarier location. Alright, so we're now 2nd floor. And see right there, it shut the door on us, and now it's totally dark. Where's everyone? And I love the eyeballs. Okay, now we're 3rd floor. Making our way through a closed door. Still haven't found anything yet. And it's a simple enough game that you wouldn't have to map this down on grid paper like we've seen for the computers with role-playing games. It's simple and quick, and oh, scared to death. You get a few lives that you can work with before you end up having to stop. Okay, so we're back on 1st floor. Every enemy you touch drops your lives. That's what's in the bottom right corner. Yeah, the sound is pretty cool. Something we haven't really seen, trying to get the wind blowing, lightning striking. And whenever you change the game mode to just your flashlight and moving around the house, because we did the training mode and I had an idea of how the house works, doors and stairs and so forth. But it works really well like this. The flicker. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Okay, now we're 3rd floor. Let's see if we can get across. We still haven't found any key or scepter or any items yet. Oh, no, no. Wow, yeah, when the enemies gang up on you, it's really tricky. Will it let me go down? Oh, it won't. I would be curious to know how much of this game code was borrowed or used by Warren Robinette. This is doing something more that Adventure did. Adventure was mostly one screen at a time, and then it would flip to a new area, but we're actually scrolling a little bit. Well, the impression of scrolling. It's not true scrolling on Atari 2600, but still really cool for the time. That scrolling, like moving, where we're not going from room to room, you can see on the gameplay on the left, that's the most impressive thing that I would say technically for Haunted House, and then using the music and ambiance to play the game is really, really cool. So while I wouldn't give that like the best game you could play for a home console or the best for Atari 2600, it's definitely up there. A very good experience and really fun, something fresh too. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and do 4.5 stars for Haunted House. It's attempting something, and it's doing a lot of things really well with the different game modes too. And while it's just a single-player game, it's still very impressive seeing something trying to be scary in 1981, advertising itself to be scary. So a really cool Atari 2600 game. After that, let's see what our next release is. We're going back to the Apple II. I was kind of missing it. We haven't done Apple II as much as the last time. All right, so let's see what Sabotage is on the Apple II. Take a look at the artwork for Sabotage. This is by Online Systems. Excellent. By Mark Allen. Way to go, Mark. For the Apple II, and the graphics is legit. Pretty cool. Looks like pencil drawing of war. Back of the box says, in this innovative game, you take command of a powerful gun base to shoot helicopters and aircraft out of the air. Beware. The opposing have plans to sabotage your base. Can you defend yourself from the rain of bombs and paratroopers and keep your base in action? Written in machine language, high-res color graphics, and keep in mind, it's 1981. The whole color aspect of computers is big. That's why the Coco is a really big computer, and the Atari. They would be the biggest ones because we still have lots of systems that IBM is pushing out, or other computers around the globe, and most of them are in black and white, like we've seen with XE Sorcerer and a few other obscure ones. Oh, they will. Okay, we'll be ready for that one. All right, looks like it works with paddle or keyboard. Rapid-fire capability marks, shoot at many targets, and the level gets higher the tougher they get. The game has been known to cause addiction and should be used with extreme caution. That should be on every video game. That's pretty good, Online Systems. Way to go, Sierra. And for other artwork, we got, there it is, our 5 1/4 floppy disk for Sabotage. Has a label that will scan $29.95 for the time. Nice. All right, so let's pop it in and play. It is October 1981, and this is Sabotage for the Apple II, the newest for Online Systems. Do I need to? Oh, I don't need to fast forward. It loaded really fast. Here we go. Object of Sabotage is to score as many points as possible before the enemy destroys your gun emplacement. Your gun can be destroyed either by a hit from a bomb or sabotage when enough paratroops reach the ground. The gun can be controlled with a paddle or keyboard. If you're using the keyboard, press D and we'll move it clockwise. Okay, D and F to move, and then any other key to shoot. That's pretty nice. That's what I'm talking about. That's pretty good play control. Just hit any of the other keys, and it'll fire the gun. That's how to do it. Do you want steerable shells? Yes, we do. I didn't know I would ever think of steerable shells, but sure, let's do it. All right, so here we go. I'm moving. Oh, that's cool. So I'm moving left and right to shoot. Wow, the explosion is awesome. The shrapnel of the ships is great. sound effects are pretty usual what we see for Apple II, but yeah, gameplay is this is great. Easy to control. Oh, nope, we got one down. Okay, so you can see the paratroopers, you want to be able to shoot them fast enough. But look at my rate of fire. And I turned on curving the bullets, so I'm moving the bullets around. Nice. And if you shoot off the parachute, then the enemies fall and crash. Oh, so cool. Yeah, so I'm able to curve the bullets around, but the rate of fire is what's great. It feels like I'm the superpower, destroying everything. Yes, love it. Go, 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 go. Oh, can I get over in time? No, I don't think so. We're going to keep going. It still says I have... Yeah, I'm just mashing right now the spacebar on my Apple II. Going crazy on these guys. Yeah, this is great seeing a refreshing action arcade game to play on the Apple II. And Online Systems has been doing some other good ones too. We've seen Serious Software push out some really good ones. Well, this is a single screen game. It feels like I'm playing a classic arcade game that hasn't really been played before. Yeah, really easy concept and plays well. And I must be doing good because no one's ganging up on me yet. My gun hasn't been sabotaged yet. Yeah, the best part is the rate of fire. It feels like I have a lot of great play control over the gun. As we go game by game, it is a little difficult to explain the play control. I'll do the best I can. That's why I love having guests on, to have them play the game and feel it themselves compared to everything else that's out there. Because as we go through, you can see the game, you can hear the game, but if you're not playing it yourself, you really can't understand how good it is or it compares to other games. So let's just see. Can I do... Oh, I can do paddle controls too. Nice. Let's see. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Alright, I was already on a roll with keyboard, so that one's the one that's working the best for me. Alright, so just for kicks, it's called Sabotage. Let's get these guys down so they can totally sabotage me. Yeah, I agree with the chat. The debris coming down is awesome. Oh yeah, look how much... We got all these guys coming down. Are they going to take over? I just want to see how they do the sabotage. Oh, there we go. If enough guys come down, it just blows me up. That is fun. That's pretty nice. All right, so for the time, that was Sabotage. That's a great game to play, and I'd say the play control is done really well. It's nothing to push up into, like, doing something different or new, but it's still... and it's not doing anything like crazy good for the industry, but it's an excellent game. 4-star game for sure. So that's Sabotage for the Apple II. And this is a great night. We've had so many good releases in October. I love October 1981. Let's see what our next game is. Oh no, here it is. All right, we're going streaking. No, we're not. We're not really going streaking. This is the first example, if you don't want to count the ad we saw in Softline for Soft Porn Adventure. This is the first example of any video game that has controversy for a sexual nature. And you can see the gameplay on the far left side. It looks just like it's a Pac-Man top-down maze game, but this is by Shoei, and this is a video game that is intended to be more risque and kind of go for the shock factor. So the premise of the game is you are a naked woman trying to run around and find your clothes while you're running away from cops, stealing money. This is the kind of game that would be featured in, adult bookstores or a little seedier areas than the normal arcade. Obviously, this wouldn't be in the arcades with all the other games because of the content. Now, by today's standards, this is nothing. Like if you look on the left, even though I explained it as a naked woman, you can, I guess, kind of make out that it is, but it's obviously, by today's standards, nothing bad at all. For the purpose of the channel, though, this is one of those games that we're not going to be showcasing or playing because, believe it or not, there's a lot of games, the floodgates get open, and then porn video games start coming into the market. This is the very first time, the very first one that we're going to see. And for all the others, we're going to be breezing by them the same way we're going to be doing early childhood. So for the time, this was considered, you know, too hot for the arcade, and a lot of places they banned it or got rid of it. And so this was, and this was streaking, and there it goes. We're streaking by it. To go to an amazing game after that one, we're still in October 1981, and this is one of the biggest releases we've seen in the arcade. This is Turbo. Let's take a look at Turbo. Here we go, from the front of the box, or the advertisement flyer. Taken from a lot of the tropes of Monaco GP, Sega's Turbo is influential in so many different ways. Let's see, there's the arcade cabinet. This is the upright version. This plays like Monaco GP. We have the pedal at the bottom and a wheel that you turn with a gear shifter on the side. Great example of the arcade cabinet with the artwork that you see on the side of it. Love it. There's a PCB, and then for control panel, it's a wheel with a low and high gear shifter. Start button over on the side, and then yeah, you can see we got just accelerate, moving left and right, and then high and low gear. Simple controls, but the presentation is where it's at. Yeah, this one is awesome. So this is an example of the screenshot. Let's see if we have a manual. No manual for this one. For different versions, we have different encrypted programs and different revisions. We're going to play the original, which is in Japan by Sega. So it's October 1981, and we're playing Turbo in the arcade. Awesome, cool. Okay, so this example of the driving cabinet that you would sit down in. So they did the same thing they did with Monaco GP. You sat down as if you were driving the car, and then this screen would appear above you with stats over on the far left side. And we got a lot of the artwork. You can see what it's doing in the attract mode. It's showing your RPMs, your speed, and the display you would see if you were sitting in one of the cockpit arcade cabinets. And over on the far left, the gear shifter is just low and high, but it's still giving you that experience of being in a car while you drive. And they're doing one more than they did with Monaco GP. Monaco GP was not even using transistor-to-transistor logic. This is actual microprocessor used for this one. And we do have play instructions right above here on my head. They're kind of small to see, but it's telling you about how to start the game. You can extend your play if you pass 30 cars before the timer counts down to 0. This is an example of one of the games that's not necessarily a racing game. It's a driving game where you're just driving and you're not trying to drive past a ton of people. You're more trying to beat the clock. Well, I guess for this one, that's still the case because you're trying to pass 30 cars. But it's not a race where we're all starting together. You race to the end. It's just continuous driving with a car. And then it also says player cars return to the starting line if you crash. And it's going through the attract mode. And the best part of Turbo is the sprite scaling. This is one of the first examples of an arcade cabinet having sprite scaling like this with this fidelity. And you can see what it's doing. It's kind of stretching the images. So as the buildings go by, you can see them kind of stretch and pull themselves away. Using a similar formula as Monaco GP with the sides of the road, but on a very, very different scale. All right, so this one is one of the biggest technical releases of 1981 because it's going to go on to be the trope of Sega. The whole sprite scaling starts here. This is it with Turbo. And then we have Yu Suzuki just take it even further. We go to Space Harrier, we go to Outrun. It's going to go higher and higher and better after this. This is just the beginning. All right, so let's put a coin in and check out Turbo. Is there no sound? No, there's no sound. Oh gosh. There's no sound or sound effects. So don't adjust your volume, but it looks like the either the emulator or the way they have it programmed doesn't have the sound for it. I just went from low to high gear, and they do a really cool visual impression of the cars going over a hill. Let's see if we can see that right there. but it doesn't do anything for our car. Oh, if I hit the sides of the roads, it also crashes the car. Yes, the arcades had so much sound and loud sound. It was so good. Let me try a different one just to see, because it's possible that the sound was programmed on a different board that was going through the arcade cabinet. Let's take a look and try it this way, just in case. Yeah, it looks like the sound is an issue. It is giving us all the indications of the game playing. But as far as the sound, it's totally muted. But this game was loud, just like Monaco GP. If you tuned into the Monaco GP episode, we had my buddy on to play, and we were playing a simulator because it doesn't have a microprocessor in it, and they simulated everything, including the sound effects for the game. Yeah, it looks like there is an issue with the sound for it, which is terrible, but I'm not going to be rating this based on the sound at all. The way that this is taking all the sprites, like even look at the turn around this corner here. Oh, it's giving me extra time. Nice. But it is a shame because the sound is one of the biggest draws, but the graphics would be the biggest, of course, for Turbo. The tunnel effect, yes, love it. This game was just very, very loud. And here you go, we're on ice, and I'm slipping and sliding. It actually makes your car control differently on the ice. There we go, and we're back to the road. And they're even doing for hills. They don't do an effect for our car, but they do an effect for the other drivers. And there we go, we're giving us a bonus for extended play. That's awesome. All right, try one more way, just in case we can get sound to go for it. And it looks like, no, all three ones don't have the sound emulation. All right, this is just a different view. We're zoomed in a little so you can see the sprite scaling a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Over the hills, the enemies or the other cars are coming over the top. It's really disappointing we didn't get the sound for this one. It was one of the loudest arcade cabinets, like Monaco GP. And I'm curious to know how the sound was programmed for the game, of why it wouldn't work as well for that. Or for the emulation, at least. So you can see it's taking us to different locales, but all you have to do is just continue to drive and avoid the cars moving left and right. Or avoid the ambulance. And you go inside tunnels, on cityscapes, near the ocean, on ice, through forests. I'm carefully driving now over the ice. There we go, and through tunnels there. And what we'll do is, if we can find one that does work correctly with sound, because there's plenty of compilations out there of Turbo you can play on Sega on modern systems, and the sound does work correctly there. All right, so one of the biggest graphic video games of 1981, highly influential. Majority of people that played it were blown away that this was possible. And yeah, driving and continuing to play the game, and you want to go further and further to see more of what they programmed in, is another big draw for this one. So too bad about the sound, but for the release, we're not going to bash the emulation for it. We're going to still go 5 stars for Turbo. This is one of the best games you could play at bar none, for 1981. So you can see in the video snap, they're playing some of the sound, like the crash sound of the car. So it is possible, but it would have to be done a different way compared to the 3 emulators we tried. All right, so after Turbo, whatever could be our next game? We're going back home to our home computer. This is the TI-99, and this is Blasto. Not familiar with Blasto. Let's take a look at the artwork and see what it is. As always, the TI-99 is all business. They have a sleeve around the case, and they always have application software, Texas Instruments home computer. But then behind that sleeve is the actual game, so you can see it's Blasto. Puts you in command of an armored tank traveling through a dangerous minefield. You score points by destroying mines or blasting your opponent's tank. And there it is, the cartridge. Love cartridges for home computers. With a single screenshot and no manual, so we're popping it in and playing. It's October 1981, and this is Blasto for your TI-99 computer. All right, so we want to do basic or Blasto? We want Blasto. This is all about the games here. As usual, the TI-99 is giving us a little ditty before we play the game, kind of like it did with Hustle. Press the number beside each of your choices. We'll do a 1-player game, and then what game speed do we want? Sluggish, rapid, or full tilt? Let's go full tilt. Tank trails. Let's do several tank trails. And then mine density. Let's make it high. Let's fill this place with mines. All right, here we go. First time playing Blasto using the joystick on the TI-99. And it looks like I got 4-way controls. Nice, so we were able to blow things away. Oh, that's cool. So it causes a chain reaction. So if I blow this one up, oh, that's pretty cool. So you're just supposed to blow all the mines away? All right, I'm going to plug another controller in. I want to see what 2 players is like after this one. Now, am I correct that the music is repeating itself after the explosion? I think it is. After I blow things up, then it just repeats the song again. But constant music for a home computer game is rare. Apple II, we haven't really seen a computer game that has music going in the background. We've seen the home conversions of Pac-Man, but they just have... Oh, they have a time limit, so I'm game over. But they have, you know, just moving, picking up dots and sound effects, but we've seen 2 or 3 games on the TI-99 where they're playing music in the background. Replay. Yeah. All right, let's do a 2-player game. I want to see what that looks like. Let's do the same thing, full tilt. Tank motion, normal tank motion, and then let's do minefield. And then tank trails, high density mines. All right, so now we got 2 players, and you can see I'm able to control 2 different controllers on the TI-99. And it looks like this is going to be dangerous because I can blow myself up. So I'm going to get away from the explosion as the black tank, and then shoot one. Oh, this is so cool. So this means when you play with 2 people, you can work out causing chain reactions to hit the other person. Like, if I wanted to, if one of your buddies is hanging out right here, and you were in the right spot, you could shoot to blow up the tanks right there. Nice. And you get extra points for it, I bet. Yep. That's great. So it's a time limit game, but to be able to play 2 people and use the mines to help you with all the different game variations, that's pretty cool. Can you even just shoot? Yes, and you get points for just knocking them out like that. And it just resets your position. Oh, another great game to have with a buddy at home. Cool 2-player game, at least. This is a home version of a game called Blasto in the arcade. We've seen a few obscure arcade games that the TI-99 has ported home, like Hustle. No other port of Hustle ever came home, except on the TI-99, which makes me wonder, was it legitimate, licensed, or did they just do it, and because of the time they didn't get sued for it? Or maybe that too, that's a good point. It's possible, but it's pretty cool that I think this is the only Blasto version you could play at home. This is a game we played in the 70s. a fun a top-down take game, just like we're seeing here. But they're adding the 2-player mode, and then all the other game modes you can play as well. All right, let's go back to a single-player game. Let's make it rapid. Full tilt still felt fast. Let's do no tank trails this time and change it up with normal mine density. Okay, so here we go. It looks like, oh, I see. You have more things to blow through if you don't do the tank trails. So I don't have a lot of movement. This would be a very fun game to play with 2 people. I already gave it to the TI-99. And by the way, if you see the TI-99 4A, we're playing on a 4A, but the 4A has not come out yet. It's only 1981. And so you'd be playing this on the TI-99, but I'm very impressed with the graphics for the TI-99. One of the few games that have this kind of screen that you'd see to play games. And the presentation's really good. I love playing cartridge games on the computer. Not a computer I was familiar with whenever I was younger. I'm still trying to find the first computer I ever played in kindergarten. I don't remember what it was. It's possible it was an Apple II, but I don't have a way to confirm that. Because it was so long ago, I just remember playing an educational game where I was selecting pictures and options based on what they said as like multiple choice. But to this day, I'll never find it unless I can track down the kindergarten I went to and ask for history on which electronics they had. It might be something obscure like that. I don't know. That is the only game of all the games that I've collected and worked on historically that I've never found. It's the game I played in kindergarten, the very first computer game ever, where I came in for the first day, sat down on the computer. I remember playing the game, pushing the buttons on the keyboard, but I have no memory of what it was. All right, so that was Blasto. Man, oh man, another good one. It feels like one of those nights where everything is incredible. So for the time, for a home computer game that you could play, Blasto is so good. Really fun to play. We've played other top-down tank games, of course, and this one with the element of the mines and the different game modes makes it really fun. It's for sure a 4-star game. I could even go higher than that because of the replayability. And I'm here by myself, but if I had another person, yeah, we're going to make it 4.5. 4.5 stars for Blasto. It is that good for the time in 1981. All right, with that, we're going to stop at Blasto. A great night for video games, and there's going to be so many more nights of video games. There's more games to play, and we'll catch you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.